Ah, 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 ah. Good day, everyone. Welcome to episode 16 of TOYBOX THEOLOGY. Now, I know what you're wondering. Why on earth would they have an evil person be the host of a Christian theology channel? Well, because today's topic is one I specialize in, and that is evil. Don't you mean the problem with evil? Ah, right, yes. The problem with evil. Yes, evil is very problematic. And I will definitely be explaining it to you, viewers, today, to explain what evil technically is. And just so you know, I'll be watching you, so no funny business. Relax, Spider, the man. I won't cause a scene. Much. Now, the problem of evil in the Bible is addressed through verses that explain its source, originating from within humanity, condemn it as a violation of God's will. And yes, because as from experience, evil is very diabolical. And so we're going to provide guidance on how to respond to it from the Bible. So, let us begin. Mark 7, 2023. What comes out of a person is what defiles them, for it is from within out a person's heart there is evil thoughts, come sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, arrogance, and folly. All these evils come from inside and defile a person. Sounds familiar. Oh, that's me! I said no funny business, Gobby. Okay, Spider-Man, this is my episode. Let me do it. But yes, the verse is correct. All those things originate from evil and are considered sin. So, you better watch your mouth. And unfortunately, many of these evils still happen to this day. Or should I say, okay, fine. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Anyways, now for Romans 1:18 to 25. It explains that evil is the consequence of humanity rejecting God's goodness. We're going to need more context than that, but from what I can see, it's searching it up here. Here it is. Romans 18 states that the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who suppress the truth by unrighteousness. This verse from the New Testament describes the divine anger of God directed at humanity's refusal to acknowledge him and the suppression of the truth about his existence and nature, which has made evident through creation. Yes. Despite me only seeing the bad in humanity, God sees the good in you. I don't know how he sees it, but he does. You have a good in you. You know, Gabi, you might have some good in you too, but you use it, but you let your flesh take over and you hurt people. Don't blame me. Blame the goblin gas. Then there's Genesis 6:11-13 describes the extent of evil and corruption in the world that has led to a great flood. Yes! I'm sure we all know about Genesis. How there was so much evil in the world that God had to ask Noah to build an ark to save his family while he flooded it. This is... Yes. So this... So he has flooded... He flooded the earth because of how wicked it was. So many wicked things. And you know what's the worst part? It still happens today. I don't think it's as bad as it was back then. But it's still pretty bad. Now, for verses on how to respond to evil. Romans 12:21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. What does that mean? I'll take over for the video here. Overcoming evil with good refers that we shouldn't really fight fire with fire. It's referring that we have to use our given grace to fight evil. That is what is being good. So that's what you've been doing to me and all the sinister villains in New York, is it? Sometimes I make some mistakes. But I always remember that I have to be good. Well, you do you, Spidey. You do you. Look, Gabi, I just don't understand. Why do you enjoy being evil? Because I just... You know what? Shut up. Never mind. Just next verse. 1 Thessalonians 5:15. Make sure that nobody pays back wrong for wrong, but strive to do what is good for each other and for everyone else. Well, that verse is talking about how we shouldn't, is kind of similar to the last verse, that we shouldn't repay wrong, and we should always strive to do good. Let's see. Anyways, next verse. Matthew 5:18-39. I have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist the one who is evil. But if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. I don't understand verse. Let's look up real quick. Searching up real quick. Come on. Yes. Here's the meaning. Matthew 5:38 is the start of the passage in Jesus' sermon on the mount, where he introduces the principle of do not resist an evil person, contrasting the traditional principle of eye for an eye with a radical call for non-resistance and love for one's enemies. Love for enemies, huh? The teaching instructs followers to respond to acts of aggression or injustice with generosity, selflessness, rather than retaliation. Well, we explained evil today. Well, you want to end off with anything? Okay. I'll say this. I have struggled with evil for many years. But after studying God's Word, I have realized how messed up evil is. See, I told you. Wow. Reading God's Word does change everything. So yes, the problem with evil is real. And the Bible instructs us on how to deal with it. So, does that mean we have to just because evil exists, does that mean we have to hide under every rock and think that the devil is everywhere? Well, I would say no, because after, like I said, reading God's Word, I realize that even though evil exists, there's still good. And God's grace can shine through anything and overcome evil. Well, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this explanation of the problem with evil. Well done, Gobby. It's like you redeemed yourself. I don't know, Spider-Man. You know what? I'll just go. Cue the music. I guess that was a good video. Wanna go, get a snack, Gobby? I guess. Hey, you sure you should be using this music? It's fine.